What's up, guys? Emmanuel Jones here, and we back out with another video where we're going to be doing our mock draft prediction. This is what I would pick during my 2023 NFL mock draft. So, by the way, I'm going to be doing my prediction to see which player is going to go to that team. So, before I get to my video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and comment down your opinion below to see who you have, which player you think is going to go to that team. So, by the way, we're going to get started here. So, at the number 1 overall pick, I had the Panthers selecting Bryce Young. And why? Because I think Bryce Young can fit this Carolina's position. And I think that can be a huge upgrade. And I think he's going to be able to fit this Frank offense a lot better. And I think Frank Reich can make it easy for him. And I think with Bryce Young, what he can do, he can move around the pocket. He's good as a thrower, which he can throw a forward pass really good. And I think he can extend some plays, and he can move around. He can make some throws where he can complete a pass. So yeah, that's what I can see him do. And on top of that, I think the Panthers' offense will be a lot better with Bryce Young at quarterback. So, yeah. So, yeah, given that they're building the talent around him, I think that's give the Panthers an opportunity to be a good team. So, I like the Panthers selecting Bryce Young because they're likely going to select him. Number 2, I have the Texans selecting C.J. Stroud. And you know why? Because I think the Texans with C.J. Stroud, I think he fits the Texans scheme a lot easier. And I kind of really think that, that can be a huge upgrade at quarterback. And I like to see the Texans, I think the Texans, they need to at least upgrade a quarterback to make this team pretty good. They got some weapons around the quarterback, knowing that they're probably going to draft one. But there were rumors saying that they might not draft one. So I think the Texans are going to select C.J. Stroud because they could be out on other quarterbacks. And I think that somebody can use him in this system to build around the quarterback. I think they can build around I think they have a chance that they can build around, C.J. Stroud, knowing that he's going to be there. So I think the division could be a lot easier or a lot tougher for the Texans. But I think the Texans right here could definitely go on a run here with this offense. And I like to see them run this offense a lot better. And plus, C.J. Stroud, he's a guy that he can make some throws. He can make some big plays down the field. He can stretch it out. I don't know if he can pass the ball really good, but I think he could be more like Bryce Young where they can throw the pass. So, yeah. So, I like C.J. Stroud at number 2. Number 3, I have the Colts selecting Anthony Richardson. Now, why? Because I think Anthony Richardson is going to fit this Colts scheme a lot better. I think the Colts, select him because I think the Colts, with Anthony Richardson, I think he can make the Colts team a lot better. So I think he can fit this Shiken offense really good because, they got some weapons that surrounded him. I think with C.J. Stroud, with Anthony Richardson, I think he can fit this Colts offense a lot better. And I think this guy could definitely be a star because he's a guy that he can make the forward pass. He can run around. He can extend some plays really good. So I think that can make him be a star in the NFL in the future. So, yeah. So, given Anthony Richardson's ability to go to the Colts and fit in his offense, I think the Colts select Anthony Richardson at number 3. So that's why I have him at number 3. Number 4, I have the Cardinals selecting Paris Johnson. Now, the reason why I have them selecting Paris Johnson is because I think, that Paris Johnson, the Cardinals, they need an offensive line to protect Kyler Murray because their offensive line was horrible last year. it was a mess last year. It's very old, so they need to revamp that. So maybe they get somebody younger. I think that upgrades the offensive line, and they can be able to protect Kyler Murray. Because I think Kyler Murray is a guy which he can make some plays. He can't really he can throw the ball really good, but I don't know if he can throw the forward pass, because I think the Cardinals offense could definitely be much better adding an offensive lineman. Because there were rumors saying that can go defense in the draft, because they have lost several players on that defense. So, and Budda Baker could be on his way out. So maybe they draft a pass rusher or a safety or a corner. Maybe they need to draft one of these guys. Maybe that can at least upgrade, that can probably upgrade their defense being a lot younger. I think so, yeah, but given that Paris Johnson will go to the Cardinals, given that the Cardinals need an offensive line, that's why because they need to protect Kyler Murray. So that's why I got the Cardinals selecting Paris Johnson at 4. Number 5, I have Seahawks selecting Jalen Carter. Now, the reason why I have them selecting Jalen Carter is because Seattle needs another pass rusher. They need a defensive lineman that can really get a big, give a front, can play in the box, play in the middle, or play against the run. They just need a pass rusher. Their edge rusher was weak. I think they need a defensive line to get after the quarterback. And plus, given that his ability, to at least play against the run and play up front against terrible offensive line, I think his size could be good, and he can at least get after the quarterback, and he can definitely play man on the offensive line. And I think he can fit this Pete Carroll scheme a lot better, though. So, given that the Seahawks, they just need a number 1 or number 2 pass rush, given that they need a defensive line, that's why I have the Seahawks selecting Jalen Carter at number 5. Number 6, I have the Lions selecting Devon Witherspoon. The reason why I have them selecting Devon Witherspoon is because the Lions, they need a cornerback because, they got rid of Jeff Okudah. So they just need at least they just need a cornerback to at least replace him, because I don't think Emmanuel Mosley's the answer on number 1 corner. Mosley's more like a number 2 or number 3 at corner. So I think getting an upgrade at cornerback, I think that can probably, given Devon Witherspoon can definitely be a huge upgrade at the number 1. That'll be a huge replacement for Jeff Okudah. And I think he can fit the Aaron Glenn scheme pretty good, because Aaron Glenn has done a good job, with his defense so far. I think he can definitely make this Lions defense a lot better. They need to they're doing a good job building around the secondary, but they just need to build around the defensive line as well. So, yeah, given that the Lions need to replace Jeff Okudah, that's why I got Devon Witherspoon going there at number 6. Number 7, I have the Raiders selecting Christian Gonzalez. I think Christian Gonzalez, I think the reason why I have him going to the Raiders is because the Raiders need a number 1 corner. They need somebody, they need a number 1 corner, because their secondary was atrocious last year. And especially Patrick Graham really carried the defense. I think this defense will be a lot better drafting a cornerback, because they need defense in Raider Nation. They need to at least draft a cornerback in the first round, upgrade the secondary, which that can make their defense a lot better. So, yeah. That's why I have the Raiders selecting Christian Gonzalez at number 7. Because of that. Because they just need a cornerback. Because if the Raiders get a cornerback, this defense will be a lot better. All right, number 8, I have the Falcons selecting Tyreek Wilson. The reason why I have them selecting Tyreek Wilson is because I think the Falcons need a pass rusher. they need somebody to get after the quarterback because we know the Falcons have some talent on defense that they build. They bolstered up their defense to be a top 10 unit. And with the Falcons, they just need another pass rusher to get after the quarterback. And I feel like Tyree Wilson's ability to do is get after the quarterback, play man versus the offensive line. And his ability to at least like be physical up front. Because I like his physicality there. So I think he can fit this Dean Pease defense a lot better. I think Dean Pease can make this defense a lot better in the future. So yeah. So that's why I think, because I don't think corner's really a need for Atlanta. So yeah. So I got the Falcons selecting Tyree Wilson. Number 9, I have the Bears selecting Darnell Wright. The reason why I haven't selected Darnell Wright is because, the Bears, they just need an offensive line so badly. They just need an offensive line, to protect Justin Fields because they got some weapons around him. They just need the offensive line to protect Justin Fields. I just kind of feel like Darnell Wright needs to go there because I think the Bears, I feel like Darnell Wright can play physical up front, especially on the offensive line. He can be good at pass blocking and all that, and I think his physicality is pretty good, and he can like open up spaces for their running game. So yeah, but the reason why I just had the Bears selecting Darnell Wright is because they just need an offensive line, and they just need to protect Justin Fields. So yeah, that's why I have Darnell Wright at 9. Number 10, I have the Eagles selecting B.J. Robinson. And why is because the Eagles, they just need a running back. They need somebody to replace Miles Sanders. Like they need somebody to replace him because the Eagles need a running game. Because if they don't select a running back, then their running game gets a lot worse. I think he fits this Sirianni offense a lot better. So I think with Robinson's ability to do, he can make some plays, he can break some tackles, he can cut through, and he's good at running out the middle, and he can at least and his speed is pretty good. So yeah, so reason why I have the Eagles selecting B.J. Robinson is because the Eagles need a running back, and they need to replace Miles Sanders unless they want to get a veteran. So yeah, I got the Eagles selecting B.J. Robinson at number 10. Number 11, I have the Titans selecting Peter Skoronski. The reason why I haven't selected Peter Skoronski is because Titans kind of need an offensive line. They need to build the offensive line around Andre Diller because the Titans, they just need an offensive line because, their offensive line, was very bad. It was very horrific last year, and it's very old. They need to revamp that. They can add some new players on the offensive line because they need to protect the quarterback, which I don't really know who it's going to be. Whether it's going to be Ryan Tannehill or it might be a rookie. Who knows? So they just need an offensive line to protect Peter Skoronski. Well, what his ability his ability to do, he can play I think he can block really good. He can pass block really good. He can open up holes for the run game pretty well, and he's good at playing man. He's good in the middle. So yeah, so I think Peter Skoronski, I think the Titans select him because they just need an offensive line. So yeah, that's why I got Peter Skoronski at number 11. Number 12, I have Texans selecting Will Anderson. You know why? Because I just think the Texans, with Will Anderson, I think Will Anderson is a good defensive player. He's a guy that he can at least make some plays. He can get up front. He can create some pressure. He can blitz really good. That's why I think he can fit this Texans scheme a lot better, especially with DeMeco Ryans' defense. I think he fits DeMeco Ryans' defense a lot better with his scheme. So, yeah, that's why I think the Texans are going to draft Will Anderson to be their number one pass rusher because they need to build the defense around Sheldon Rankins. They need to build this defense around with some talent, though. So, yeah, I got the Texans selecting Will Anderson. All right, next, number 13, I have the Packers selecting Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now, the reason why I have the Packers selecting Njigba is because I think, the Packers, they just need a wide receiver. Like, they need to find a wide receiver that can make some plays. But I think Jackson Smith-Njigba can be the number 2 guy. And I think the Packers can build around Jordan Love, selecting with some young talent. They can even draft a tight end, which I think I heard rumors about. But I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is a good fit for him because I think he fit Milford's offense a lot good. But I like his ability, to at least make some plays down the field, and he can stretch the field. He can make some plays, and he can his ability to at least catch the ball and get open on every play. Like, he can get open down the field, get open on a short pass. So yeah, that's what I like to see. Well, the reason why I just had the Packers selecting Jackson Smith-Njigba because the Packers, they just need to find that number 2 guy, wide receiver, because I don't know if Romeo Doubs is the answer. So yeah, that's why. Now, number 14, I have the Patriots selecting Zay Flowers. Now, why? Because, the Patriots, they need a wide receiver. Like, they need to find that wide receiver that can make some plays. And I think Zay Flowers is the guy. And I think he can find a way to make this Patriots offense a lot better. And I think he can at least, find a way to make some plays down the field. Like, he can get open on screen passes. And especially down the field, he can make some big plays. Like, he can run straight routes. And I love his speed and mentality, though, where he likes to be doing. And I like how the way he can attack defenses, which that's awesome. I think, the Patriots, I think the Patriots, Zay Flowers to the Patriots is a must team for him to go to fix that receiving core of New England. Because the receiving, so yeah, that upgrades the receiving core. So I think so I like Zay Flowers at 14. Number 16 at 15. Number 15, I have the Jets selecting Broderick Jones. You know why? Because I think with him, I think the Jets find a way to upgrade that offensive line. I think they find a way to at least with Broderick Johnson's ability to at least do a good job pass blocking. He can average really good. He can pass block really good on man-to-man. He can block good, open up holes. I like his ability to do that. And I think he can go along. And I think he can fit his just offensive line, especially with Nathaniel Hackett's scheme. Given that Aaron Rodgers is on the team, I think they can find a way to use him and maybe to protect Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah. So, I like the Jets selecting Broderick Jones at number 15. Number 16, I had the Commanders selecting Emmanuel Forbes. The reason why is that, Washington needs a number 1 corner because, William Jackson was a complete bust. So I think they need to find a young corner. They need to draft a young corner in the first round because, Forbes was an absolute complete bust. So they need, because Forbes could definitely be a huge upgrade because, the corner position was weak. So I think adding Forbes would be a huge upgrade. So, yeah, I like his ability, to at least play man, play in the box, play zone, get in coverage against wide receivers. I like how the way I like how the way that he can fit the scheme. Um, you know, I like how the way he can play. He can cover number one and number two receivers pretty good. So yeah. So I think adding him could definitely upgrade the cornerback position for Washington. So that's why I got Forbes going to 16. Number 17, I have the Steelers selecting Joey Porter. And you know why? It's because I think that Joey Porter is going to fit this Steelers defense a lot good. And I think that can definitely upgrade the corner position. And he can fit along with Patrick Peterson, which that made the Steelers secondary very strong. I like Porter's ability to play man, play zone, get in coverage, play in the box. He can even play at the nickel position or at the number one position where he can cover number one receivers. I think Porter could definitely be a stud at corner. That's exactly what I would like to see. So I think that the Steelers do need a cornerback to make this defense a lot younger. So yeah, that's why I think Porter is going to go to 17. Number 18 out of the Lions selecting Khalil Kancey. Now, the reason why I have them selecting Khalil Kancey is because the Lions, they need to build around the defense, around Aiden Hutchinson. They need to add like a number 2 pass rusher to make this defense a lot better because they need to do that. Because if they don't do that, their defense definitely gets a lot worse. So their defense can definitely get a lot better. Adding another pass rusher to go along with Aiden Hutchinson. And I like his size to at least play man, play zone. He can play in a nickel. He can definitely create some pressure, though, and make offensive line look terrible. I like his ability to do that. I think he fits his Aaron Glenn scheme pretty good on all the other players. So, yeah. That's why I think I like the Lions selecting Khalil Kancey at 18. Number 19, I got the Bucs selecting Lucas Van Ness. The reason why I have Lucas Van Ness to the Bucs is because the Bucs, they need a pass rusher or a defensive end because we don't know if Hicks is gonna come back because he's a free agent. So I think they might need another pass rusher though to make this defense a lot younger. So yeah. So I think the Bucs, need a pass rusher because I think, the Bucs, they need to find somebody to get after the quarterback. Like, I like Lucas Van Ness' ability to play man, play zone, play in coverage, play, he can play man on defense against offensive lines, but I like his ability to at least, get pressure on the quarterback, create some pressure, I like how the way they do that. So, yeah. So, yeah, I like his ability to at least, play man on the defensive line. So, yeah. So, that's why I got the Bucs selecting Lucas Van Ness at 19. Because they just need another pass rusher. Number 20, I have the Seahawks selecting Myles Murphy. And you know why? Because, Seattle, I think they can add another pass rusher to draft. I think they can find a way to build around, I think they can find a way to build around the defensive line. He can go along with other pass rusher and fit Perril's scheme a lot better. And I think with his size to do, his easier size, what he can do, he can play some nickel. Like, he can play at the defensive end and play at. And I think his ability to play at the nick, like, he can at least rush the passer really good. He can get after the quarterback. He can blitz really good. I like his mentality to do that. And I think Pete Carroll will be able to use him like this. Use him like that in the draft. He can find a way to use him like this in similar plays. So, yeah, that's why I like the Seahawks selecting Myles Murphy at number 20. Number 21, I have the Chargers selecting Jalen Hyatt. The reason why I have them selecting Jalen Hyatt is because the Chargers, they might need to add another receiver because, to make this receiving core younger because Keenan Allen is starting to regress and he's getting older. Like he gets hurt all the time. Mike Williams gets hurt. Like they can at least find that option at wide receiver. Like they just need to add another receiver to go after, to go after the quarterback. Like to make some plays. They need to add one for Herbert because I think Herbert, they need to at least because Herbert needs to because they need a wide weapon for Herbert because Herbert, they need a weapon to surround him and build around him because I like Hyatt's ability. He can at least get open on every play, every screen. He can at least make some plays down the field. He can get open. His size is really good. His speed is good. That's what I like. And, that's why I think the Chargers will select Jalen Hyatt because they need to find another receiver for him just in case. Just in case. They just need one. Number 22, I have the Ravens selecting Deonte Banks. The reason why I haven't selected Banks is because they just need they just need to find that number two option at corner because we don't know Marcus Peters coming back. I think he can fit this Ravens scheme on defense. I think the defense will surround him, and I think he finds a way to at least play man. He can play zone, and I think he can play at the nickel position pretty good. And he can play number 2 corner pretty well. That's what I like to see him do. So yeah, well, the reason why I just think that's why I think I have Baltimore selecting Deonte Banks because they just need a cornerback, another cornerback, to at least make this Ravens secondary elite. Number 23, I have the Vikings selecting Quentin Johnston, and why is because the Vikings need to add another receiver because Adam Thielen's gone. I think he finds a way to replace Thielen. I think Quentin Johnson finds a way to replace him easily. I think I like his size and ability to at least make some plays down the field. He can stretch the field. He can run past cornerbacks pretty good. He can make explosive plays down the field. His size is pretty good. His speed is good. That's what I like to see. So, yeah, I think he fits his Kevin O'Connell scheme pretty well. So, that's why I have the Vikings selecting Quentin Johnson at 23. Number 24, I have the Jaguars selecting Brian Branch. And I don't know why, because I think Brian Branch, with his with his size, play safety, he can play man, play in the box, which I like his ability to do. Like he's good playing zone defense against tight ends. Like he's good at covering against tight ends and all that. So yeah, I think Brian Branch, I think Jaguars need a safety, in the secondary to at least let the secondary be a lot better. Because I think Jaguars need a safety, to at least cover tight ends because they need to do that. So, yeah, that's why I like Brian Branch at 24. 25, I have the Giants selecting Jordan Addison. And you know why? Because, the Giants just need a number 1 receiver. They just need a game-changer receiver, to at least, get after, they need a number 1 wide receiver for Daniel Jones. If they get a wide receiver for Daniel Jones, that would be awesome. But I feel like Jordan Addison to the Giants will be awesome because they just need to add another receiver. They need another secret weapon for Daniel Jones because Jones to get the ball to. So, yeah. But what I like about Jordan Addison is because I just think I like his scheme. I like his mentality. I like his size. And I like his and I think I like his explosiveness to at least make some explosive plays down the field. I think the Giants, will select Jordan Addison. I think I think he's a perfect fit with this day ball scheme, especially with this offense. So yeah, that's why I like the Giants selecting Jordan Addison at 25. Number 26, I have the Dallas Cowboys selecting Dalton Kincaid. And the reason why that I think the Cowboys need a tight end to replace Dalton Schultz because Dalton Schultz is gone. So I think what I like about the Cowboys is, the Cowboys, they just need a tight end, to at least like stretch the field, make some plays, and like run past tight ends. And Dalton's Kincaid's ability to at least make some plays, he can at least get open down the field, especially on early downs. He can do that, and especially he can at least like make some plays. He can at least like his speed is solid. So yeah. So I think the reason why that I select. So yeah, that's the reason why I got Dalton K at 25 because the Cowboys just need to replace Dalton Schultz. So yeah. Number 27, I have the Bills selecting Jack Campbell. And you know why? Because, the Bills, they need to at least upgrade their defensive line because we know they're losing some pieces on defensive line. And I just feel like the Bills need to at least, like, add a player on defense like Jack Campbell. But what I like about Jack Campbell, I like his size. I like his speed. I like his mentality. I like his speed on defense. And I like him out of the way he blitz, rush the passer and all that. So yeah, that's what I like about Jack Campbell with his size and his mortality to like get after the quarterback, rush the passer, and all that. So yeah, I think the Bills is a perfect fit for him because that can definitely at least like filling like the holes in their defensive line, knowing that their defensive line is getting over, and I feel like they got to get younger. So yeah, that's why I think Jack Campbell will go to 27. Number 28, I have the Bengals selecting Michael Mayer. The reason why, because I think the Bengals need to find a younger tight end because I don't know if Hayden Hurst is gone. They added Irv Smith. I don't really know if Irv Smith is the answer at tight end. Maybe it could be that number 2 tight end. I think Michael Mayer could be the answer for the number 1. So, yeah, I like his size. I like his speed. I like his mentality to get open, especially on early downs where he can stretch the field. He can at least like get 50-50 balls behind quarterbacks. I think he can so yeah, that's what I like to see against Michael Myers. So yeah, so I think he can fit the Bengals offense a lot better because Joe Burrow needs a tight end and all that. So yeah, that's why I have Bengal that Michael Meyer will go to 28. Number 29, out of the Saints will select Will McDonald the fourth. The reason why is that the Saints, they're trying to get younger on defense. They need to find another pass rusher because they lost 2 key pieces in free agency on the defensive line. They just need to find another pass rusher to get after the quarterback. Because they're getting older on defense, and they just need a young guy like that. Because I think what Will McDonald can do, he can rush the passer, he can make some plays, he can blitz really good, and he can create some pressure against those good quarterbacks, against bad offensive line. I think he finds a way, and I think he finds a way to do that with his skills and all that. So yeah, I think he fits the Saints defense pretty good. So yeah, that's why I got Will McDonald at 29. Number 30, I have Nolan Smith to the Eagles is because I have the Eagles selecting Nolan Smith is because the Eagles, they need to make their roster younger because they got some older players on defense. I think they can replace some of their guys on defense. Because I think what the Eagles can do, I think Nolan Smith will be a perfect fit because I like his size and mentality, and I think he finds a way to at least create some pressure, rush the passer. He can find a way to at least play man on the offensive line. He can make offensive line look terrible. He can make quarterbacks look terrible. So yeah, I think he fits the Eagles defense pretty much good. And I think the Eagles can add another pass rusher, and I think this defense can definitely be elite. So yeah, that's why I got the Eagles selecting Nolan Smith at 30. And last but not least, number 31, I had the Chiefs selecting Anton Harrison. And the reason why is that, the Chiefs, they just need to find somebody to replace Orlando Brown. They added Jawan Taylor, which that was a good pickup, but I don't really know if he's that good. But I feel like the Chiefs can at least add another left tackle, to protect Patrick Mahomes. But, with Orlando Brown, they was able to do that, and they won the Super Bowl. And, the Chiefs, lost Orlando Brown, so they can add another offensive lineman to protect Mahomes. And I like his mentality to at least block really good, and I like his mentality to at least like like play good against bad defenses, and his mentality to at least like open up holes for the running game. So yeah, that's why I like Anton Harrison at number 31. Well, all right, guys, that's my full NFL 2023 mock draft for an NFL draft. Well, hope you guys enjoy watching, and don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm crazy? Just let me know what you guys think. Was Emmanuel Jones from Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.